Yeah, Scar. It can, as you said, it can be extremely fun to witness, particularly for the hard point where we are heading straight away here with Brooklyn on the right side of our screen, and Skill leading the charge straight onto the hill. Unfortunately, he'll fall, but a great nade to could take out two people as the hill points start to go towards the way of Ahmed.
Yeah, and Markel going to be able to find that one 2-0, as is Wandell, and he's soaking that time. He's looking to get that cruise and get it early. Big chow here from Markel. He's going to be able to find that one. He is going to get traded out by Kratos in the back. That's going to be a big win, but Wandell going to be able to find that one as well, getting closer and closer to that cruise every second that ticks by. Ravo going to be able to find one there, and that is going to be a pretty clean wipe for the side of Frostbite. They just have to find Skill. He's located in Market. Skill wants as much time as they can get off P1. He wants this to be a 3 and out. He's got stuff he's got to do. Probably got homework, to be honest. That's going to be a big first from Win. Is he going to be able to find the second? Not quite yet. He is going to be able to find Webby with the great pistol shot over the top rope.
Yeah, it looked a little bit risky when had a cleaner opportunity to do so earlier, but makes up for it. However, the trades have been absolutely efficient. Frostbite, they had a slow start onto map number 1 here, but they're starting to claim up the points and almost tie up the score line, yet to lose even a single point off of this P2 hill. But now, OMiT, they're starting to get closer and closer. Wavy leading the charge, however, Kratos keeping him away, not for long. Skills taking care of that, and OMiT finally break through with the only 20 seconds remaining on this hill, so the fight for rotation shall begin momentarily.
Yeah, and one thing I've noticed about this P3, the longer and longer the game has been out, the more of a money hill it has become. It's definitely still one of the mixier ones, but Skill going to be able to find that. He's going to get into this. Oh my god, you can get up on that? Okay, that's some new tech for me, for sure. Win going to be able to find one, finds two in the back to get the initial break, but Markel going to be able to find a couple of his own. Carr finding some in the background. Kratos able to find one. Markel going to be able to find Carr. Kratos going to grab this initial time here, 20 seconds into the hill. He's going to get cleaned up. Markel getting up on the Godhead. He is shooting nukes right now. Big shots there. Finds the tags. Finds the full kill. Finds the second is Markel. And yeah, it is just all OMiT Brooklyn right now.
Skill slides in, spots 3, kills 1, looking for more as his health regens as well. OMiT soaked up quite a lot of time on the speed 3 hill, and they're looking to walk away with the final 10 as well. Again, the fight for rotation has begun already, and it's all black in the kill feed for OMiT Brooklyn. They're starting to dominate the kill feed here a tad bit. Janek Vandal, he had a phenomenal start, but Markel is the one that's truly leading the charge already on a 6 kill streak, looking to increase more. And he's found one from behind. Never mind, Ravix turns on him, and the hard point claimed by Frostbite.
Yeah, Frostbite trying to edge their way back into this one. If they're able to soak all this time, they are going to be able to find their first lead of the match. Ravo not going to be able to find that one. He's going to get shut down. And just Kratos on time here, going to be able to find the first. Carr almost finds the lineup, but OMiT Brooklyn break right in. 25 seconds remaining, and they're just going to soak up this time. At this point, Frostbite can break, but it's honestly better just to go new, set up P5.
Yeah, and it seems like they're already on to that. Their players are spread quite across the map, but their presence is still close to the hill. Only one player that's much away from the rest of the squad that's going to be Win. Unfortunately, not going to survive for long, as OMiT are now going to start to rally around the hill. They hit the hill from the backside, and hence the spawn has been taken over here. Trophy systems eliminated, and OMiT immediate control, even though Frostbite had a great setup to try and get that early hill points. However, OMiT denies them immediately, and now they're starting to look more and more dominant on the scoreline. The scoreline is quite literally double at this point for the side of OMiT Brooklyn, and it's only getting higher.
Yeah, and that's what sort of OMiT Brooklyn will do to you. If you give them the opportunity, they will put you in the blender and they will just run away with games. You really have to stay on top of, getting clean trades, getting clean rotations, and Frostbite in up until this P5 was looking pretty good, and now the wheels are starting to fall off the bus here. Win in a great position, but he is going to be able to get out with his life just barely. His skill's going to pick him up. Skill is going to be able to find him. Markel going to be able to find Carr, but the trade is in. And yeah, just trades back and forth. OMiT Brooklyn going to come out ahead. Webby going to be opting to use this streak here. Able to find one off spawn. Not going to be able to find much more, but is going to get the intel on where they're spawning and is going to lock P1 down for that time. Webby in a great position to play upset.
Yeah,
Oh
Markel
my
though
goodness.
has been having such a phenomenal game. Wavy is starting to heat up a little bit as well. Got his cruise missile online, used it earlier, would do very well, I'd say. But Markel, 22 frags, 10 deaths for him, a 100-point lead that OMiT are holding on to right now. As we now prepare to go on to P2 here, stun comes out where he survives at least for the time being. But Win gonna finish him off. That's gonna be 2 for Win. As currently, again, Frostbite, they've had these early positions, they've been working out so well for them. However, just as the hill pops, the kill feed starts to light up black and OMiT start to take over. Frostbite, they're gonna have to stop that from happening. Again, Gar from behind gets one, and this is exactly the start that Frostbite needed towards these hard points.
Yeah, and it seems like they are able to get a fair bit of time on this P2. That cruise is
Oh,
definitely going to play upset, as that's going to be a clean 4 dead in the feed. Wandell with a team nade. That was interesting. And yeah, just great shots there from Wandell. Going to be able to find some big tags up top P2. The nades do come in. He's going to be able to find one, but that's going to be 3 dead again. Make it 4 as Webby's going to find 3 of them. And they are just trolling at this point. Just trying to rage bait Frostbite a little bit. Gonna die to a stun there. His skill is gonna stun his teammate. And yeah, the OMiT Brooklyn clearly not taking this seriously. They are just, trying to have a good time.
yeah, well, Frostbite have denied OMiT the satisfaction of the 100-point club, but they're still not giving up hope in themselves, regardless of the way Brooklyn and OMiT Brooklyn are trying to play this Frostbite. They're still taking this as a serious competition, and they're still trying to hold on, gather as many points as they possibly can. Win, great hold, finds 2 amazing kills so far, but will he be able to hold on is the real question. Still surviving. Car to help him out here, and the gap is starting to close out just a little bit. OMiT already above the 200 mark point, so only one good hard point is one good hill is all OMiT need to conclude the map out.
Yeah, and this P4 is about to pop. There's 2 players from OMiT Brooklyn on the rotation, that being Skill and Webby, I believe. Kratos going to be able to find one up top. Webby going to clear time, soak these last 3 seconds. Skill in the back, looking to play upset. Ravo is able to find some shots, not able to find the kill. Wandell's there for the cleanup, and OMiT Brooklyn are in the driver's seat once again. Kratos not going to be able to find that one. The shots ring true from Skill. Skill, and I'm pretty sure like 75% of OMiT Brooklyn are currently ranked in top 250, by the way. Just a quick side note. But Kratos can be able to find that one. Win is able to break on in only momentarily. Doesn't get taken out, but does decide to hop off hill. Markel going to be able to find one. Skill finds another. Win going to fall to Webby, and that's 1 player left on time. Markel going to find that one. This player in the back is everything. Car's going to fall, and OMiT Brooklyn get ever closer to closing this one out. Skill just trying to trick shot at this point. The BM is absurd right now.
It truly is. I mean, realistically speaking, OMiT are about to just are on the edge of concluding this map out. We have Frostbite trying to just barely hold on. However, it's not working out too well for them. They need to secure 80 points to be able to win this one, and they need to make it absolutely flawless here. 8 points all OMiT need. So no room for error whatsoever. However, unfortunately, some errors have been made. Hill has been cleared out, and OMiT are starting to stack up those final points. 3 more needed, make that 2, and they're on the hill. Map number 1 goes to OMiT Brooklyn.
Yeah, even they were trolling. Like they were trolling once they hit the 200 point mark. They were team killing. They were, not playing point. They were going for trick shots. I tip it. I tip the confidence, but it is just kind of unsportsmanlike. Um, but it is what it is. Frostbite, you'll get them in the next one. We have a Scar S&D coming up, but real quick, I do just want to touch on something. Carr 33 and 25, absolutely insane stat line out of him. Doesn't matter if OMiT was trolling or not. 33 and 25 is phenomenal out of the young man, especially going up against one of our titans in the U18 league, OMiT Brooklyn. It's tip of the cap to you, sir. But let's lock in for this S&D, and let's tap in, dig deep here.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, there were moments on the side of Frostbite where you could say that these are some great individuals that are playing for the side of Frostbite. We saw Win holding on to P3 really, really well, even when he had little to no help. Carr was finding frags very consistently. However, on the side of OMiT Brooklyn, it was just a steamroll all across. The map started off a little bit balanced, but after OMiT Brooklyn hit that 100-point mark, the game started to feel a little bit more lopsided, and OMiT just steamrolled their way towards that 200-point mark. And after that, they got a little bit lazy. They let the scoreline get a bit closer, but never out of their comfort zone.
For sure. OMiT Brooklyn currently, I think they're flawless in series unless it's been an FF. So yeah, let's get into this map too. Scar S&D. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, the playstyle of the SNE obviously is going to be much, much more different, and maybe Frostbite can deliver a surprise here. The respawn didn't exactly work out too well for them, but the question is whether or not they'll have a different outcome on SND, as Frostbite are going to be leading off on the attack side here, already having lost two of their players. Win is going to try and make up for it. He's found skill, but will not be prepared for Janik Vandal from behind, who's looking to find the final two. Gets one traded, however, now Kratos in a 1 versus 2.
Yeah, Kratos, tough spot. Your location is known. Webby's going to find the tag with the sniper. You're dangerously low. He's chasing with the pistol. No real map progress has been made here. He is going to spot both players. They're both up in top blue. Big win there. This is winnable now. Webby left with a sniper in hand. But he's opted to play his life. He's going to go for the counter snipe on A. Kratos checks his surroundings. Bomb is going to go down. Webby not too close behind, but I think he's going to set up for the snipe. No, he's not. He's going to get spotted, so he can't go for the ninja. Big shot there. Not going to land. Does spot him crossing over to the left. He's going to get stunned. Finds the shot. The nade does not connect. And OMiT Brooklyn, not as comfortably as expected, but do close out that first round with a beautiful snipe.
Yeah, they had a really great start, and up until that final 1 versus 2, where things started to look a little bit scary, as it seemed like that, maybe Frostbite realistically could have mounted that comeback. Kratos had spotted both of the remaining players on the side of OMiT Brooklyn and almost lined them up even. But good on Wavy to just try and get out of that situation after having lost his teammate, stay alive for as long as he could, and force the situation to look like it was favorable for him yet again when he decided to take that engagement later on.
Yeah, for sure. Carr, we're going to hop on board here. ON1 trying to find an opener. Webby might have spotted him there. I'm not entirely sure, but all the rest of OMiT Brooklyn over at this A point. Frostbite definitely still showing face. That's going to be a big nade kill from Skill. Big opener there. Wandell going to be able to find one. Webby gets another hit marker. That's his second of the game. Chases him down with a pistol. He's going to be good for it. Win is going to get cleaned up, and OMiT Brooklyn take the second round in a row.
Yeah, this one was a lot more comfortable on the side of Brooklyn. They were quite aggressive to just to begin with. That nade kill to begin kick things off allowed Jankin to push even further than he already had, which resulted in that second frag. And realistically, after that, Frostbite just got totally ran over Ometer, leaving no breathing space behind for Frostbite.
For sure. OMiT definitely trying to make a statement here. Like I said, Frostbite newer to the league. OMiT have been around. They've definitely been around the block. They've been. Oh my
Oh my
God!
god!
What? Wevy. If Wevy finds a second, get this kid in the league. What? What was that?
RCXD online for him already. So that's gonna help them out quite a bit later, if need be. However, from the looks of it, they might not even need it. Rayvox last alive, spotted, gets one kill, but the trade's there. Omid, comfortable third round winning victory as well.
Yeah, oh man, you have no idea how bad I want to watch that snipe again. That was what?
Yeah, well, he has been doing absolute wonders here with the sniper so far. I did not anticipate such a performance, and he timed that so phenomenally well to kick things off there. I mean, how you didn't even make a mistake if you're the player from Frostbite. You were just walking, getting out of your spawn, and boom, suddenly you're dead.
Yeah, like you have to see a name there or something, right? Like there has to be like something to tell you that Webby gonna get picked up early here. Not gonna see any more magic with the sniper, but Wandell gonna find the equalizer. That's gonna be three dead to the side of OMiT though. Wandell left in a 1v3, and Frostbite claimed their first round.
Yeah, this time around things were a bit flipped on the map. Ahmed Brooklyn decided to have most of their presence on the other side of the map. Janek was left all by himself towards this area, and well, got picked off easy. But it was Win that well granted them the win. Who played it absolutely phenomenally well and really aggressively hopped straight onto Heavy. It did not allow the second player, I believe, that was Scar, to walk away from. That was Skill, I believe, to walk away from that engagement as well, and hence getting those first bloods really worked out well for Frostbite.
Yeah, and Webby gonna get active here with the sniper, pushed up super aggressively. OMiT Brooklyn manages to find the opener. Carr, however, gonna find one in their favor. Markel gonna be through the back, does spot a player there. Webby tagged up, dangerously low, 28 HP. Markel gonna get picked up by Ravo. Webby getting chased down like a dog here as this player is running him down. He is going to be able to find one onto Kratos. That's going to be absolutely massive. Ravo recovered the bomb. Webby's on the flank looking for the 1v3. Picks up the AR.
Oh,
Oh, whiffs. You don't see that too often out of the young man. He does get spotted. Big stun there. Spots one. Hasn't spotted the player to his right, though. The Chow is in. Webby finds the first. Not going to be able to find the second. Frostbite claim their second round in a row.
a really great 1 versus 2 play from the side of Frostbite. They did not leave each other's backs even for 1 second. Um, did not grant Webby the opportunity to make it into a 1 versus 1, at least a comfortable one. Nonetheless, had Webby connected that sniper shot earlier, things could have realistically been problematic. But after he misses that first sniper shot onto, I believe, Rayvox, the round was pretty much over at that point. But right now, it's only a 1 round deficit that stands between the two, as Ahmed Brooklyn are going to once again try and attempt an attack on towards the A side from the looks of it.
Yeah, and Kratos is going to find some tags early there, but Webby, and still with the sniper in hand, is going to get cleaned up after finding the first. Win's going to be good for a couple. Once again, a 1v3. Markel, the last man standing, make it a 1v2 as he finds the opener, finds the second. Is he going to be able to find this third player? He's over by the A bomb, spots him. That's going to be massive. He's going to go on a bit of a route here, going for a bit of a jog. Bomb still not in hand. Win versus Markel. Oh, this is
Oh,
Markel. Just absolutely beautiful timing. Great rotation through the bottom, and he's going to clean that up. OMiT Brooklyn stop the streak at 2 and take their 4th round of the map.
yeah, Win has been playing absolutely phenomenal for the side of Frostbite. He had great stats in map number 1 as well. Map number 2, he has been the leading factor for the 2 rounds that Frostbite have been able to win so far. Unfortunately, could not close it out for his team this time around. Markel, as you said, played that absolutely beautifully with that timing, and OMiT now stand with just 2 more rounds needed to conclude this map out. Webby, he's gonna attempt that same lineup again. However, unfortunately, this not gonna be able to find anything this time around. But Janik, he's changed up his positioning, and that results in him getting first blood.
Yeah, and that's going to be absolutely massive. It wasn't bomb, however, it does put them in a bit of a tough situation. They now are down a player. Equalizer has been found, but not for a long time, as Webby's going to be good for that one.
Oh,
Make it 2. Webby is a walking 2-piece. Good lord. Ravox left in a 1v3. Make it a 1v2. Finds the first. Not going to be able to find anything else. OMiT Brooklyn slam the door. 5-2, looking to close out the map.
yeah. Now things are starting to look a lot more comfortable for with Brooklyn here as well. They swap out their places just a little bit, readjust according to was working on Frostbite, and the read was absolutely perfect. Now only 1 more round needed before we are forced onto Den Overload.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited for Den Overload, but I'm more excited to see how this S&D closes out. If Webby's going to pull another rabbit out of his hat, it is going to be interesting.
Push comes in. Skill, he's found one. Make that 2. Looking for the third. Damage is done, and Skill has been found as well. Unfortunately, he will be denied the aces. Janik himself puts him down, but the kill is there for OMiT nonetheless. 6th round secured, and alongside it, the second map gets put up on board as well. Both of the scores going the way of OMiT Brooklyn.
Yeah, and we are going to see this overload, and I can't see it going any other way than the side of OMiT Brooklyn. They just look like an unstoppable force right now.
Yeah, I mean, from there were moments in both of the maps where Frostbite looked like that they could provide some real competition to OMiT Brooklyn, but again, the situation was a lot more similar to what we saw in map number 1, where OMiT got an early lead. Things started to look a little bit shaky, but never as if it was about to go out of OMIT's hands. It was always in their comfort zone. They always knew what to do. They readjusted accordingly just a little bit, and things were smooth sailing from there on out. And honestly, their S&E looked all the more dominant, although the rounds got a little bit closer, a little bit hectic for them time to time, but they still managed to come out on top. The respawn, however, if scar hardpoint is assigned, then the Den Overload is not going to look very good for the side of Frostbite, from what I can tell.
No, and the one thing I will sort of mention with Overload is you still get to kind of mess with the spawn system a little bit, right? So you can spawn trap, and that's what I'm expecting this OMiT Brooklyn squad to do. They're a squad of shooters. They can shoot the gun straighter than just about anybody I know. And yeah, it's gonna be something to watch to see if they put them in this spawn trap blender. I'd also honestly be shocked if we don't see a little bit of park the bus if it gets to that point. But I believe the map may have already started or is about to start. Den, I gotta say, one of my favorite overloads. I think it plays really well. It's not really like there's no heavy side favorites. I would say if you're trying to dunk on Dragon side, you have a bit more of an advantage, especially with that A point getting moved into dojo instead of outside of dojo. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see how those changes affect sort of these players' game plan. But yeah, it's definitely going to be one to watch here, folks. Don't go anywhere. Grab your water, grab your popcorn. You have a bit of time. Map is just getting started. Inflict, I gotta ask, like, what do you think about Overload as a game mode? Do you miss Control at all? Do you like
Oh yeah,
Overload?
I miss Control very dearly. I mean, realistically, Control felt like the best alternative. Personally speaking, I'm not sure if it's an unpopular opinion or not, but Control felt like a really good alternative to what CTF used to be back in the good old days. And Overload, I'm still sort of getting used to it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not fully comfortable with it as of yet, but I can see the vision behind it. But Control felt like a really great mixture of S&D and Hardpoint combined into one. However, speaking of Overload, we are in the game already. OMiT Brooklyn already off to a good start. Skill, he's found one, now looking to take the point ahead. However, will get taken down immediately. A 2-on-2 trade to kick things off here for the side of FrostBite. Win still leading the charge in terms of kills. 4 kills found, 1 death already. A 2-kill streak to keep him going. Markel trying to match up. However, he will get shut down by Car and Skill, trying to make up for all of those errors. However, no real progress made by either side as of yet.
Yeah, and one thing I will say about this OMiT Brooklyn team, um, they they may not take their matches super duper seriously, but they do not like going down. They do not like trailing. So until they have a dunk under their belt, trust me, they are going as hard as possible to keep them away from their zone. As you can see here, a bit of an offense forming, but Ravok's going to get shut down there. Big team nade, or an attempt at one, anyways, by Wandell. Webby is going to team kill him, actually. And looks like Skill is just kind of rapping back and forth. He's going to get cleaned up. Wandell's there for the trade. Wandell's going to get cleaned up. Carr trying to get active over by this B site. That may be the first dunk. Yes, it is an OMiT Brooklyn. For the first time in this series, are on their back on the back foot.
Yeah, and as you said, they do not like to be trailing. They do play with full force in the early stages to make sure that they have a comfortable lead to work with. However, unfortunately for them, this time around, it has been denied. They're gonna have to work for it. Ravox tried to hold the line, however, not going to be allowed to do so for long. Kratos now up to defend next. Found one, damaged Wandel quite a bit, however, will not be able to deny them. And the first point finally gets secured on with a comfortable run towards the other point. And now, once again, Skill already waiting around the point. The push is coming in. 2 kills already found. And make that 3. The kill feed starting to light up for OMiT Brooklyn. Things starting to look a little bit more comfortable, at least in terms of how the kills are going. However, another point secured, and OMiT now starting to reach flow state from the looks of it.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of flow. Catching your team, the opposing team on the back foot, also definitely helps on in this game mode. Like if there's somebody in your back line, usually the other team will sort of wait for them to make a play, find a kill, and it's kind of tough in this instance. Big trades back and forth. That's going to be a massive team nade there from Webby and allow them to get that dunk. And we are tied up at 2 apiece as this device is about to spawn. Skill with the read of a sentry. Wandell going to be able to find Kratos. Big shots there. Wandell's going to clean that up. And this third dunk is looming ever nearer. OMiT Brooklyn take the lead once again. Looks like Markel going to be the first to this new point. He's getting tagged up. Did he just die through the wall? No, he got pinched. I was going to say. Webby is going to get cleaned up there. Markel spawning outrageously far out. Going to be able to find that one. No progress on the device so far as Wandell is doing the same thing that Carr was. Bit of an unfortunate gunfight there from him as Kratos is going to clean him up. Kratos going to be able to find a second on the Skill. Big shots here from Markel. Going to be able to find that one. Ravo in a great spot to play upset, but he's going to get taken out. Win is there for the trade. The dunk does not come in. Win's going to be good for 2 as he's going to find Markel as well. That's kind of a bar. Markel as well. Big shots there from Webby. 13 and 13 out of the young man. Big shots even bigger from Wandell. He's going to pick this device. He says, my team can't do it. I'll do it myself. Finds two, finds the dunk, sends us into halftime. 4-2 is the score.
Yeah, I mean, that looked a little bit scary for Ahmed Brooklyn, I'm not gonna lie, given the way that it started. And in the middle of it, it seemed like that Ahmed Brooklyn, they were starting to reach flow state. They secured 2 rounds and 2 points in really quick succession, but Frostbite were not too far away. I believe a minute later, they equalized the scoreline yet again, but Ahmed Brooklyn retaliate. Eventually, they got their things together. Their kill feed is looking a lot more better now, a lot more evened out. Skill, unfortunately, having a slower game this time around, but the rest of the squad, everybody is doing their job, and Amit already up with a 2 point lead as we head into the second half of map number 3.
Yeah. Second half, like I said, I feel like OMiT Brooklyn are going to have a bit of an advantage here on this side. Markel going to be able to find a couple off the rip. He's going to get Ravokes is going to be able to find one. Win on the pinch finds one onto Markel. Still going to be able to find Kratos though, and Win trying to play upset finds the tags. Not is able to find the shots with the pistol. Great stuff there out of the young man. He is finally going to get cleaned up in the back, and Carr was able to make that goal line stand. He's going to pick that device up, start rotating it over towards this B side, trying to get something going here is Carr's Frostbite. 1 minute in has made very little progress towards this point. He is going to get tagged up dangerously low by that nade. Going to be able to find that one. Webby going to be able to find another. Markel finds a couple, and that's going to open things right up. He's going to get taken out by Win. Win seeming to be the last man standing over and over, always in the right position, always able to play upset. Ravokes and Co are there to shut that push down. Great spot here from Wandell. Going to be able to find the first. Nobody home for the side of OMiT, but Frostbite just don't make that read. Can't make the play. Big tags there on to Skill. Skill off to a slow start, 7 and 15. Big shots there into Ravokes, 17 and 15 out of Markel. Kratos with some crazy pistol shots, not able to find that kill though. Ravo doesn't read the spawns here as all of OMiT Brooklyn spawns up looking right at him. And gonna try and work his magic in the back. Skill gonna be able to find that when the trades do come in. Markel gonna be able to find one with the pistol. Ravokes able to find Markel. Big shots here, not enough for the kill. OMiT Brooklyn once again are just trying to slowly move this ball forward, just stay in control of it. Win, not quite able to clean those up. Ravo going to be able to find the first. Still a player looming nearby, able to pick that device up if need be, but the spawns do come in. The reinforcements arrive. Big shots there. Markel able to find that one, finds the device carrier, picks it up, going for the dunk, but the cleanup is there from Win. He's good for 2. Once again, 23 and 13 out of the young man. Big shots there from Markel, able to find a second. And yeah, it's just 2-piece after 2-piece. Kratos is going to get picked up on the pinch. However, the push is over towards this B side. You're OMiT Brooklyn, you got to move, and you got to move quick. Webby here alone manages to find some shots into a couple players, not able to find a kill. Skill is going to be able to find that one. Carr going to chow with the pistol, gets tagged up through 10. He's weak. He finds another. Markel going to be able to find Carr. Device drop. Device in hand. He gets cleaned up. Win. Not going to pick up the device. Going to leave it for his teammates. He's feeling hot. His gunny is warm. Big kill there with the Semtex. Carr. Team killed Kratos. Markel with the knife. Big win here. There we go. OMiT Brooklyn once again in control. 1:30 left. Not a score to be had in this second half yet.
Yeah, things have not been as clean as we had anticipated for OMiT Brooklyn so far. However, the good thing here is that they've kept Frostbite away from scoring a point as well. So, and with them only a minute left on the clock, that is realistically the only thing that they need to do now. They cannot realistically go for the 8 point mark anymore. So why not just try and waste as much time as you realistically can? Sure, score a point or two if possible, and there you go. There's finally the first point scored 4 minutes into the half. but at this point it's sort of unnecessary as well, because you just have to survive and make sure that Frostbite do not tie up the score line, and then having to do, and now they're gonna have to score 3 points, that too within just 40 seconds. It's realistically impossible. The map's looking done and dusted as Wardle finds a really clean two piece as one of his closing statements here. 30 seconds left on the clock, and OMiT Brooklyn have essentially secured themselves a 3-0.
Yeah, it's not even essentially. It's mathematically impossible at this point. 3 dunks in 20 seconds is just not doable. Wevy going to run that back for them. He was going to play park the bus. Big nade kill there. Wandell able to find a couple. Skill finds the last two-piece of the game. And he is just going to run it all the way back to spawn as far away as possible. Laying down, looking at the lovely pottery there. And OMiT Brooklyn take a 3-0 win over Frostbite.
Yeah, and this explains a lot about why OMiT Brooklyn are as dominant a team as we know them to be. I mean, a clean map number one, a clean map number two, map number three. I mean, honestly, realistically, I expected a little bit better from them in map number three, but that doesn't take away anything about how dominant they were, because the first half, once they started to get rolling, they were extremely clean with it. They got those 4 points in quick succession. In the second half, it seemed like that Frostbite were keeping them at bay for quite a while, but it might have just been OMiT getting lazy with their game a tad bit again. But in the end, what mattered most was closing out the scoreline, and that's what they did.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. 5-2, I believe, was the score in that overload. OMiT Brooklyn, like I said, they do have a tendency to troll. They are just sort of known as the best team in the U18 COD League by pretty much everyone. It's not really a question; it's more of a statement. Um, so yeah, it's just it's a tough sort of road to sow anytime you have a match against them. Sometimes you get the win, you'll get the FF win if they just don't feel like playing that night. But yeah, for the most part, when they are playing, they're playing, they're shooting the gun for sure. So yeah, OMiT Brooklyn take a pretty decisive 3-0 victory over Frostbite Gaming in our first series of the night. If you are just joining us, however, don't feel sorry, don't feel bad. Still plenty of Call of Duty left to be played. We have another series coming up just after this. It is going to be Chaos versus. Give me 2 seconds here. Project 7. Chaos versus Project 7. So that should be a banger. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm ready for this second series to get underway. Inflict anything to say to the people at home, the U18 faithful that are watching us right now.
It's my first day here at U18, but having seen some of the action only in my first series, I can say for sure that the second one has to be worth it. We have another team that is notoriously, Project Seven notorious. They're really high up on the standings. I expect great things from them as well. But Chaos, unfortunately, they are sort of similar to the storyline that we have for Frostbite here. So a similar storyline heading into series number two, and I expect a similar game, which can be really entertaining to witness. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, should be a banger. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this.